Every year, millions of British drivers walk out of garages wondering if they actually needed everything on that bill. Tonight we go through 5 things some UK mechanics are counting on you never finding out, backed by government data, consumer law, and real court cases. From fraudulent MOT certificates to an overlooked legal right most British drivers have never heard of, we start at number 5. Number 5, the Ghost MOT. In garages across the UK, a certificate can sometimes be handed over for a car that never even touched the test bay. This is the Ghost MOT, a fraudulent pass issued without a single safety check. According to the DVSA, 1,324 MOT fraud cases were recorded in 2021 to 2022, with 710 classified as the most serious for outright dishonesty or gross negligence. The problem is growing fast. Ghost MOT incidents more than doubled in a year, from 976 to 1,809. Prosecutions are rising too, with 32 successful cases brought in 2024 to 2025, and around 300 garages stopped from testing each year for non-compliance. The scale comes into sharp focus with real-world investigations. In Brockley, South London, covert surveillance over 3 days found that out of 45 vehicles booked for an MOT, 27 never arrived at the garage. Yet certificates were issued. Both testers pleaded guilty to fraud. In Hampshire, Paul Rafferty issued 47 fake MOT passes from 2 garages in just 3 months. His sentence? 36 weeks in prison, suspended for a year, a 5-year ban from MOT testing, and every one of those certificates cancelled. For 47 families, it meant discovering overnight that their cars were not legally roadworthy and needed urgent retesting at their own expense. The emotional and financial consequences can be severe. A Ghost MOT leaves a driver exposed. The car could be unsafe, insurance claims may be denied, and police can issue a fine of up to £1,000 for driving without a valid MOT. Since 2011, paper MOT certificates are just receipts. The only legal record is the DVSA database. That means the single most important step is to check the MOT status yourself using the gov.uk MOT checker and your car's registration number. If the certificate isn't on the government database, it simply isn't valid, no matter what's printed on paper. Halfords warns that even these figures likely represent just a fraction of the real fraud taking place. Before you trust any pass, always verify it online. If you suspect a Ghost MOT, report it directly to the DVSA. The law is clear and the risk is real. Never drive away without checking the digital record. Number 4, the jargon flood. In garages up and down Britain, technical language is often the first line of defence against a customer's challenge. The RAC warns that terms like nearside CV, joint, gator, anti-roll bar drop links, and caliper slides are routinely used to overwhelm drivers, especially those with older cars between 80,000 and 100,000 miles. At that age, some wear is almost inevitable, but not every worn part is urgent or even relevant to why the car was brought in. The real problem isn't the jargon itself, it's when it's used to block questions and pressure and approval for work that may not be necessary. A trustworthy mechanic will explain in plain English what each part does, what happens if it's left alone, and whether you can see the issue on your own car. If the answer is vague or the fault can't be shown, ask for a full written list of proposed work before agreeing to anything. Take that list to a second independent garage for a comparison. Bumper UK recommends this step for any job that feels unclear or expensive. Always remember, if a garage can't explain the problem without hiding behind technical terms, that's a red flag. Asking the right questions dismantles the sales pitch, and written quotes put you back in control. Number 3, the parts markup and the criminal version. Every garage adds a margin to parts, and that's both normal and legal. Markups of 30 to 40% on big-ticket items are routine, and even higher percentages crop up on cheap consumables. But the law draws a clear line. The Consumer Rights Act 2015 gives you the right to be charged a reasonable price, meaning what other local garages would expect for the same work. A high bill alone isn't evidence of wrongdoing, but when a used or refurbished part is sold as new, that crosses into criminal territory. The Consumer Protection from Unfair Trading Regulations 2008 make it a prosecutable offence to misrepresent what's been fitted. Any direct government guidance confirms that passing off a second-hand part as new is fraud, reportable to trading standards. Every part on your invoice should have a part number. Type that number into Euro Car Parts or GSF Car Parts. Within seconds, you'll see the retail price. If your garage's charge is significantly higher, or if the part described as new is clearly a reconditioned or used item, you have solid grounds to challenge the bill. This isn't about a vague feeling of being ripped off. It's evidence. The law is on your side, and a documented price gap can be the basis for a formal complaint, a price reduction, or even criminal proceedings. Before you approve any repair, insist on a full, itemized invoice and check those part numbers. The difference between an expensive job and a fraudulent one often comes down to a single search. Number 2. The MOT advisory trick. On the surface, an MOT pass should mean peace of mind. Yet for thousands of drivers, the moment of relief is quickly replaced by a new kind of pressure, the advisory sheet. These official-looking notes are meant to highlight items that may need attention in future, not urgent repairs. But inside some garages, advisory notes are turned into a sales weapon. A retired DVSA, Vehicle Safety Advisor, described internal targets of around £2,000 a week in advisory repair work, with staff pressured to convert recommendations into same-day jobs. For drivers, this transforms a routine pass into a high-stakes sales pitch, where the authority of the MOT is used to make optional repairs appear mandatory. The reality is simple. MOT advisories are not failures, and they carry no legal requirement to fix the item before leaving the garage. The car is road legal with a pass, regardless of what's listed under advisories. Yet many garages imply that every advisory must be signed off before you can drive away, misrepresenting both the law and DVSA guidance. The work then appears on your service history, looking legitimate, even if it was never urgent. Some garages go further, using emissions readings or vague warnings about exhaust and catalytic converters to upsell costly repairs, even when the car shows no symptoms and the engine warning light is off. If you're handed a sheet filled with advisories, pause. Ask which items are safety critical and which are only recommendations. If the garage insists you must act immediately, get a second MOT from a different registered test centre before agreeing to any repairs. The DVSA makes it clear. Advisories are optional, and misrepresenting them can be reported as unfair commercial practice. Drivers can report concerns directly through gov.uk or the anonymous fraud hotline at 0800 030 4103. In the end, the advisory trick works only when drivers are rushed or kept in the dark. Slow down, ask questions, and remember, a recommendation is not a command. After a routine oil change, the phone rings. The garage lists extras: air conditioning regas, dark brake fluid, a blocked pollen filter, and wheel tracking, all pitched with the phrase, "while we've got it up." This timing isn't about convenience. It's a sales tactic designed to catch drivers off guard. Wheel alignment, for instance, is never cheaper just because the car is already on the ramp. Bumper UK confirms alignment is performed with the car fully assembled, and tyre specialists often provide free tracking checks with a printed report before charging for any adjustment. Air conditioning regas is genuine maintenance as refrigerant dissipates over time, but manufacturers recommend it every 2 years, and data from Halfords, the RAC and Wheelbase Garage shows many systems run 3 to 5 years before losing performance. A proper specialist always pressure tests the system for leaks at no charge before suggesting a regas. If a garage skips this step, it's a red flag. Brake fluid changes are another frequent upsell, but intervals vary. Some cars require new fluid every 2 years, others every 3. The owner's manual gives the correct schedule. The Consumer Rights Act. 2015. Guarantees a written quote before any work begins. Asking for extras in writing and checking prices at home puts control back in the driver's hands. A same-day call never means a same-day obligation. knowledge and a pause are the best defenses against this everyday pressure. Across all 5 exposés, one truth stands out. Confusion and urgency are the mechanic's sharpest tools. The real risk isn't technical, it's trusting without checking. In the UK garage game, knowledge is your best defense. Ask, check, and challenge, because your rights are stronger than any sales pitch.